The 2024 free agency period is rapidly approaching, and it might be a tough one for your Pittsburgh Steelers. Welcome back to Mike Drop Sports, everybody. I'm Jason. Let's talk about why I think the Pittsburgh Steelers might have a difficult time inside of free agency, luring guys that may be top of the rungs, top shelf type guys that will be looking to put up some numbers. And we talked about it last night on the live show, but I wanted to make an episode today and really focus on why I think free agency might be hard for the Steelers. And I think it really has to do with Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett is a guy that, yes, he's won some ball games, but does he really wow you in the statistical category? A lot of these guys, a lot of these playmakers that sit inside the free agency market are looking to go somewhere where they're going to put up numbers. That's what 99% of them are aiming for, guys. That's what they're really looking for. A place that they're going to be able to go, put a splash, and really, or make a splash and really try to get their value up, their market value up. That's what typically these guys are really trying to do, especially the ones that are hitting free agency at a part of their career to where maybe they're on the tail end. They're looking to make one more big splash with a shorter type contract to be able to increase their value, to try to finish their career on a bigger deal, their last real chance at making a lot of money inside of the NFL. And I don't think that free agent, especially wide receivers, are going to want to come to the city of Pittsburgh. And they may even have guys on the offensive line if they're trying to fill a hole at center. Maybe that is a problem. There are going to be guys that are going to look at this quarterback room for the Pittsburgh Steelers and say to themselves, Kenny Pickett just isn't it. He's not the true answer. And can he guide an offense under Arthur Smith that will be productive and put us on the map? And there is also another variable in this, Arthur Smith. Maybe guys might be scared off of saying, hey, Arthur Smith is more of a run-first guy, so maybe a wide receiver in the free agency market won't be inclined to come because they know that their targets won't be that great, considering they have Deontay Johnson, they have George Pickens and Pat Freiermuth, Najee and Jalen. You know, there are already weapons in place. So maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers, a team that so desperately needs a slot receiver, guys, they have to get rid of Allen Robinson and they have to find a guy that is going to be productive both in the pass game and the run game blocking. They have to find a slot receiver that can really make some waves. And the Pittsburgh Steelers have been deficient in that category. And I know Calvin Austin is on the roster, but I don't think he is that guy that's going to be able to play the slot receiver role in a way that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to require a slot receiver to play under Arthur Smith. It's just the way it is due to his body size, his body type, the way he plays football. Calvin is more of a specialist type guy, a guy that's probably going to need to be on the edges to be successful, a guy that's going to have to use his speed in order to turn over a defense to get the top blown off of that defense and really create big splash plays. And I think that that's where you're really looking with Calvin Austin, a guy that could come from the outside, hit those underneath drag routes, and maybe bust one for a big score once he gets trucking and gets his jets turned on. Maybe that's what you're looking for in Calvin. You saw him with the deep ball, one from Kenny. You saw Mason Rudolph actually hit him inside of that playoff game in Buffalo where he wasn't getting a lot of attention down low in the red zone, and Mason Rudolph was able to find him. So he did show a little glimmer of hope there because he was in the slot in that instance. But the Pittsburgh Steelers have to find themselves a slot receiver, and I have just been overly concerned here as of late concerning the Steelers when I'm looking at this free agent market and I'm looking at what the Steelers have inside of that quarterback room. And the lone man standing is Kenny Pickett. And I brought it up last night that I don't think any wide receiver would really be beating down the door of the Pittsburgh Steelers to come and play for them, to come and play with Kenny Pickett. And I think that might prove to be difficult for the Steelers, a team that needs a slot guy, that needs to rebuild in some areas on offense. Are they a ton of players away from being good on offense? No. But the quarterback position means so much, guys. It means a ton. It means whether you're going to win a playoff game or not. It means that whether you're going to be able to make it to a title game or not. It's the quarterback that means the most in that equation. And the Pittsburgh Steelers find themselves in a very, very difficult situation with Kenny Pickett, considering what Jerry Dulac reported, that there is division within that Steelers locker room, within that Steelers building, where the brass is looking at Kenny Pickett as the answer. The players want to get behind Mason Rudolph, a guy they love to play with, a guy that made them productive, and that is the reason why. There ain't no other reason. I'm sure they're both good dudes, but Mason has been around that building for quite some time. He is probably respected as a true leader in that building, and he proved that he could get them the football, guys. He proved that he could get these guys the numbers they need in order for them to get paid. And that's what they're looking for. That's who they want to play with. A quarterback that is going to get them paid. That is one position. The wide receiver position is one position on the football field that is reliant totally on another. And that is the quarterback position. And when you look at these receivers, they want to play for a guy that can get them the ball. Period. They want to play for an offensive coordinator that is going to scheme up those big splash plays, that is going to scheme up ways to get them the ball in a consistent manner, to get their numbers up, to get their touches up in order for them to achieve that big time payday. And guys, do the Pittsburgh Steelers have that type of lore, that type of wonder that they are beaming out to everybody to say, hey, come play with us. There's a chance that you're going to be good. There's a chance that you're going to get a lot of touches. There's a chance that you could build your value within this organization. And I think the answer is absolutely no. Sadly, it's no. At least right now as we sit. And yes, I think Steelers need to get Mason Rudolph back. I think it's economical. I think it works. I've said it all off season. But the Steelers, I don't care if it is Mason Rudolph or somebody else, they have to have a quality guy. Even if they end up starting Kenny Pickett in week 1, they have to have a plan B that means something. A plan B that they know and can trust to come in and get this offense moving. And if you want to give Kenny Pickett a chance, that is fine, guys. It's okay. Cool, whatever. You drafted him with the 20th overall pick. This is his 3rd season that he's going to be going into. Allow him that chance. Fine. I can't dog you for giving the guy a chance, a guy that you put a lot of value into. I can't. And that's fine. But if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers and you have Kenny Pickett on that rookie deal, you need to spend a little bit of money to get a guy in the building that's going to be able to be plan B and be a damn good plan B. And that's just my thoughts, guys, on this whole situation. And it really starts to worry me when I see the Steelers needing a couple positions. They need a center. They need a right tackle. They need a slot receiver. And maybe just they might need a quarterback. And that makes me wonder when there is a big name target that they could potentially get and afford may not come to the city of Pittsburgh, and the answer is because they don't feel like they're going to get used in the correct manner. And that is a real shame for the Steelers to lose out on a player because of that situation. And yes, you can draft guys. I get that, guys. I get that totally. But the draft is a gamble. You don't know how any of these dudes will pan out. So that isn't a sure thing. When you dip into the free agency market, you're looking for a guy that you know that is a proven commodity, a guy that can get the job done, a guy that you are comfortable with coming in and being a starter on your football team the minute he walks through the building. That should be your mindset if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers when you're dipping into free agency. Yeah, you can dip into free agency to grab some backups, but you have to know that that's what you're getting that guy for. You have to make clear, really, really clear, inside of that building, what you're getting that free agent for. Are you getting him to be a starter? Are you getting him to be a backup? You have to be positive about that. And if you're the Steelers, I think you need to go out and get a starting slot receiver. It's okay to draft another kid in the draft. That is fine, and I think they should go grab a receiver. Keep 5 guys. Maybe Miles Boykin this year is the odd man out. All he really did was special teams. He did come in and play. I like Miles Boykin, but maybe he's the odd man out. Maybe they don't bring him back. There's options, guys. And the Pittsburgh Steelers need to fill out that wide receiver room and create a shit ton of weapons for whoever is going to be quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers moving into 2024. Especially if you are able to gain a couple key pieces on defense and you know you're going to have a solid unit on that side of the football. You don't want to continue to waste solid defenses. That is a rarity to have in the NFL. A defense that could be lights out, a defense that can score. You don't want to continue to squander that opportunity if you're Mike Tomlin. You can't afford to do it, especially heading into the last year of your deal. A guy like Mike Tomlin, who I feel like people are growing rather impatient with. A guy that has been there for almost 2 decades strong. I think people are starting to think about a change. And it was a very loud and resounding answer from the fan base so far this offseason and during last season with some of the ways Mike Tomlin failed situationally, failed in personnel department. There are many things that Mike Tomlin didn't do well last year. And now the Pittsburgh Steelers find themselves with a coach that's on the last year of his deal, a quarterback that isn't proven to be an elite guy, a quarterback that's not going to draw big name free agents. That means you're pinned down to the draft, and you got to figure that out. Or you need to figure out what quarterback you can bring in to entice other free agents to come in to that building on South Water Street and really start to make this Steeler football team one that could be reckoned with in the 2024 season. All right, guys, sorry the upload is a little later today. I had to go and do a couple things. I took some stuff to my storage unit, things of that nature. Got some things done. Actually changed some light bulbs on my car, all that fun stuff. So, yeah, man. We're just rocking it out here on Mic Drop Sports, and I want you to tune in tonight at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time for another edition of our live show. They've been doing so well, and it's because of you guys. And also, I want to remind you to hit that like button as soon as you come into the live show. Hit the like button for this show also, and continue to support us in the best way possible, and that is hitting the like, sharing the content, and really spreading our message here from Mic Drop Sports. And yeah, check it out, guys. Enjoy the content, rewatch stuff, do all that, and I really, really appreciate everything that you guys, the fan base, has been doing, Steeler Nation has been doing for me, building this channel. It has meant so much, and it's been such a awesome ride. So again, guys, I'm Jason, this is Mic Drop Sports, and until next time, peace.